No division is more synonymous with mixed martial arts, combat sports, or fighting in general than heavyweight. But recently, we've seen a huge decline in heavyweight talent in the UFC. What was once a flourishing roster is now populated by overweight welterweights who put on traffic jam fights. But fear not, the next generation of contenders has arrived. I'm going to be showing you the top 5 MMA heavyweight prospects that you have never heard of. Coming in at number 5 is the inspirational yet dangerous Odie the Witness Delaney. Weighing 262 pounds, standing 6'4", what you would expect to be a striker is instead a ground and pound submission mauler with an NCAA accolade and BJJ to back it up. Odie Delaney has finished all of his fights by submission, parting a first-round TKO in his pro debut. What separates him from other heavyweight grappling prospects is the versatility and variety of his BJJ arsenal. Reminiscent of the great Alexei Oleinik, Odie Delaney uses catch wrestling tricks such as key locks and hammerlocks to submit his opponents quickly. A fighter in and out of the cage, Odie Delaney was a first responder during the tragic South Carolina Charleston shooting. He was faced with many mental struggles, but he uses MMA as an outlet, and he's found so much success in the sport despite being 34 years old. And only 6-0, he hasn't had that much of a run so far. You can see that slicing elbow to open up a submission. He really does have some nice work from mount. Ground transitions are nice. Striking is suspect, as you can see here. Very suspect striking. He has a nice kick to the body to find range. He uses that in a lot of his fights. But like I was saying, the striking is suspect of Odie Delaney. He could, honestly, a superior striker than his opponent here, could probably catch him with a straight right. Chin has never been tested. Another issue I have with Odie Delaney, and the reason he's not higher on the list, is that his strength of schedule is just pretty bad. I mean, this dude's infrequent when he goes in the octagon. He really isn't active, and he's 34. I know heavyweight's an older man's division, but the time is now if Odie Delaney is going to be successful. 9-month and 2-year sabbaticals aren't really going to be the best if you want to make it to the top. He is signed to one already. Some vicious ground and pound too when he needs it. Odie Delaney is a very interesting prospect. That's why I have him at number 5. Phenomenal grappler. And the future is now for Odie Delaney. If he's going to be big, it's going to be big now. Without a doubt, these next 12 months are going to be crucial for the Witness. Coming in at number 4 is Ben Vanilla Thunder, tying in with the pro MMA record of 5-0, amateur record of 7-0. All of those fights are finishes. Undefeated, 6'3" Canadian man, NCAA background, and Blue Chew advocate.
Prize! It's your boy Vanilla Thunder here, reaching out to all my fellow men, telling you that we can't settle for good enough. Stop half-assing the things you do!
See, it's our responsibility as a man to satisfy our woman whenever she needs it, for however long she needs it.
When Ben Tynan isn't satisfying the ladies, he's using his high-level wrestling pedigree to smother top prospects. 3-0 in LFA, he recently moved on to one championship where he steamrolled the impressive 6-1 Ji-Won Kang. A training partner of Curtis Blades, his MMA wrestling style is going to go far. He already has tremendous pressure from mount, elbows, and submissions in his arsenal. He's getting better with every single fight, and being such an entertaining character, the pro wrestling like Vanilla Thunder will surely strike a championship fight soon. Just want to add, he has a pretty sick Charizard tattoo, and if I was an MMA fighter, the last thing I would want is for my skull to be caved in while a Pokemon is flying at my face. Now, let's get to number 3. Mother Russia has never been short of heavyweight talent, with the likes of Fedor Emelianenko, Volkov, and Sergey Pavlovich. None emulate the latter more, like number 3, the King of the North, Alexander Maslov. One of the most powerful fighters in the world, similar to Pavlovich, Maslov will use his plotty footwork to find an awkward angle and absolutely decapitate any opponent in his way. The scariest thing about Alexander Maslov is that not only are his fists made of iron, but his chin is too. The absolute psychopath will often lower his guard, let you punch him square in the jaw, eat it like it's nothing, and keep coming forward. The only kryptonite to this Russian Superman is that his ground game is underdeveloped and his takedown defense isn't always reliable. This is most evident in his latest fight against Aras Setegi, where he is taken down multiple times but eventually does find the knockout. Fortunately for the King of the North, heavyweight is not known to be a grappling heavy division. Unfortunately for his opponent, standing and banging with Alexander Maslov never seems to go too well. Despite being a heavyweight and despite being a Russian, Alexander Maslov's record holds great credibility. Making his pro debut against a 12-4 opponent, he knocked him out in the first round. First round knockouts seem to be a common occurrence in Maslov's career, amassing wins over UFC veteran Luis Henrique and multiple undefeated prospects. It's a wonder how the King of the North has gone under the radar for so long. Many current UFC roster members' records pale in comparison to Alexander Maslov's, and it's only a matter of time until he's picked up by the biggest organization in the world. Now for number 2. Number 2 is Umar Rugrug Khan. But before I could get into Umar Khan, I have to tell you about Marcus Almeida. Marcus Almeida was a 2-time ADCC World Champion gold medalist. If you don't know what the ADCC is, it's the biggest jiu-jitsu tournament in the world. Marcus Almeida is one of the best jiu-jitsu players of all time. In a MMA fight, very grappling-centric, Umar Khan absolutely dismantled one of the best jiu-jitsu players of all time with his very unconventional Senegal mud wrestling. Umar Khan being an African unconventional fighter, you want to compare him to Ngannou. He is nothing like Ngannou. Umar Khan is a crackhead. He'll yell at the ref, get up in the ref's face. He does not care if you are a jiu-jitsu gold medalist. He is going to absolutely smash you. He has wicked power, wicked ground and pound, and of course a very good it's crazy how fast he is with the scrambles and the changing of positions and the passing guard. It's really crazy how he does it. He does it in such unconventional ways that you don't really see it coming. Super strong too. I mean, the dude's 265, 6 foot, doesn't really have much fat on him. He's got like the barrel build, so when he's on top of you, it's gonna be hard to get him off. Umar Khan is a freak. He's definitely like one of those guys where you say like, yeah, that's a freak. 6 foot, 265, moves like a featherweight. Dude's an absolute freak. One championship is in the golden era of his heavyweight division with Ben Tinnen, Umar Khan, and Odie Delaney all on the rise right now. But the closest one to the title shot's Umar Khan, and I think he destroys anybody in his path. Dude's an absolute animal. But before we get to number 1, I have some honorable mentions. Cousin of NFL linebacker Chad Greenwick is our first honorable mention. Bailey Berserk Schoenfelder with a pro MMA record of 4 wins and 0 losses, 3 TKOs and 1 submission. That's all finishes for the Berserk one. Bailey Schoenfelder is a really interesting case as he has the pure talent. He has the raw athleticism coming from a college football background. Definitely has a raw athleticism, doesn't have the mixed martial arts background to back it up yet. But being 26 years old in the heavyweight division and only 218, so he could go down to light heavyweight if he wanted. He has tons of time to let his talent develop. I think he could go far from what he's shown so far. He's definitely going to need the right coaches though. It's going to be interesting to see how his talent develops over the next couple years. Other honorable mention, wanted to put this guy on the list, but he only has 1 pro MMA fight. From Bangladesh, Shah Kamali is one of the most insane heavyweight prospects outside of the UFC right now. Dude has insane knockout power, but he moves like a cat. Dude is so agile, so agile. He's a fight coming up literally tomorrow, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does in that against Gilberto Del Silva. Just watch this knockout and tell me that dude isn't scary. Shah Kamali, telling you was going to be one to watch. I could just tell. Now we're on to our number 1. Number 1 MMA heavyweight prospect that you have never heard of is Talician Teixeira. From São Paulo, Brazil, the pro MMA record of 5-0, all finishes of course, all in the first round too. Talician Teixeira he's a creative character. That's the only way I could describe him. He's a UFC creative fighter. 6'8", crazy knockout power. That reach is going to do so much for him. The height's going to do so much for him. When you have the one hit KO power that he does, and you have the height and reach to land it consistently. And we gotta mention, this dude is a BJJ black belt. Like a real BJJ black belt. Like he's hitting, okay, pro debut, Carlos Senna, 2021, inverted triangle armbar. Guys, I like jiu-jitsu. I know some grappling. I've done some grappling. What's an inverted triangle armbar, dude? Like, what is that? You're 6'8". Can you just knock him out? Why you gotta do inverted triangle armbars? I don't even know what that is. He's making stuff up and making it work. Really talented kid, 24 years old, tons of time to develop. I mean, if this is him at 24, and we know heavyweights, they get better with age. We don't see like super young guys rise to the top. It's mostly like once you're in your 30s, that's when you're in your heavyweight prime. Dude's not in his prime yet. He hasn't fought anybody good either. But does he really have to? I mean, what's going to happen? Somebody's going to find his chance up there, dude. Chris Barnett, it's up there. You gotta pull out some helicopter kick we've never seen before. Dude's a monster. BJJ, power, the reach to land it. We really haven't seen anything like that before in the UFC, and I have a feeling that we're gonna. Dana White's Contender Series this year, I'm calling it right now. He's already on the UFC's radar. He had a LFA fight, dominated, knocked him out pretty brutally. Talisi and Texeria, that's the #1 MMA heavyweight prospect in the world. Guys, this was my first video. The microphone, little bit choppy. Editing, pretty choppy. We're not sure how to get this joint going yet, but hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Like and subscribe, and you know, if you got some free time, just watch it over and over again. Keep like clicking the replay button. Run my numbers up. Alright, love you guys for watching. This is No Chill MMA. Currently 8:09 in the morning. I gotta catch some sleep. I don't know how to end the video yet, so this is gonna be Chris Barnett doing his little dance again. Have a good day, everybody.